In OPA's hometown of Zanesville, Ohio, sits a very interesting, historic, and reputed haunted location. The Stone Academy was constructed in 1809 by the Springfield School Company from sandstone quarried from nearby Putnam Hill, and an attempt to lure the State House from Chillicothe by the citizens of Putnam. The Stone Academy was used for public functions and as a school when Zanesville was made the state capital the following year. The Anti-Slavery Society held two state conventions here in 1835 and 1839, where the people of Zanesville rioted the building during these functions. After 1839, the Stone Academy became primarily a private residence to three main families, which was the Potwin family, the Robbins family, and the McHenry-Taylor family. Lydia Taylor turned the building over to the Historical Society in 1973, and it has since been renovated and is now a museum open for tours. Paranormal claims are plentiful here as well. A worker saw a man with wild hair and expressed eyes, dressed in a long coat, while in the kitchen one evening, and followed him around the corner near the dining area to see he had disappeared. Several strange EVPs were also captured throughout the building, and the sound of papers ruffling has been heard upstairs in the director's office. A medium was here and picked up on the name of a man named Nathan, and a group of investigators were in the basement one night where two were touched and one claims to have been attacked, as being stabbed in the back and her shirt being raised up. Could the voices captured on digital recorder upstairs be those of Elizabeth Robbins, an actress and writer who lived in the house? And could the apparition be of Mr. McHenry still roaming the halls? We'll be searching for answers here as we team up with Gary Fellamley, who is an active board member of the Muskingum County Historical Society and a paranormal investigator, as we investigate Stone Academy.
This area is the area in the 200-year-old section of the Stone Academy. The academy was built in 1809, and this area and across the way immediately upstairs is part of that original building. This room is where we meet with the Civil War Round Table. It's the room that we have most of our board meetings and whatnot in here. As far as paranormal activity, starting here, there was a face that showed up right up in here on a wall that didn't appear to be anybody that was in the building. This is a strange room, and this is something worth exploring, I think, but nobody's really explored it much. This guy right here, Mr. McHenry, he was one of the owners of the house. McHenry's owned it from the late 1800s into McHenry's and Taylor's all the way up to when we got it in the early 70s. One time when we were doing the ghost walks a couple years ago, I came in here and this room was just completely, it had just an oppressive feeling about it. The rest of the house didn't, but this room did. It may refer to something with Mr. McHenry and the loss of a child here at this house. We got the door off of it. That's one of the ways into the hiding area, possibly. Under these steps, up in here, there's room for about one person that could sit if they needed to. But we were putting supports under some of this floor to make it like warehouse strength. They found a depressed area down in there, probably an area where people could sit. Some of the stuff that was found down there is sitting right there. Could be brought there by animals, but it could be the bone is butchered. So, you know, it's something that was prepared. But that was found down there in that area. It's also the area that it could possibly be a slave buried there, which may have something to do with activity in the basement. She was back here washing things, and she kind of felt a presence, but she never even thought really about ghosts or anything. And she looked up the way we just came from, up that hallway, and there she had, she saw an image, a figure just as plain as we are, standing in that hallway. She thought somebody had come in the building, and she wasn't aware that they'd come in. And the guy she described as having a long dark coat, like a great coat, 19th century type coat, and he had kind of wild messed up hair. His eyes were kind of wild, looking like he was emotionally upset, and he was just staring at her from the hallway. And he was just kind of glaring at her over there. And of course she was afraid, but she couldn't really go anywhere where she was. So then he kind of turns, he walks, and he walks into here. At that point, she decides to confront him. And so she follows him, comes into this spot, and there's nobody here at all. Now, when we were doing work on the museum back in the 80s, this area here was discovered to be where the original stairway was. For the 1809 to go upstairs was right in this area. So we think he may be using that old stairway. Yeah, right here, there's one funny incident. Now first, these are the two daughters, Sophie and Lydia.
Okay.
McHenry. Lydia is the one that gave us the house.
Oh, okay.
Sophie is the one that died. There was one investigator up here that claims that one of these pictures fell off and hit them when they were up here asking questions. I don't know how that happened. I didn't see it. We don't have any film of it. Then there was a situation that happened here when Tom Robinson from our group, he was asking questions and somebody blew in his ear. This is the servants' quarters. Now there's been activity through here. This area is where I was with one of the groups. I was actually with our own SEOPI, and we were doing questions. We were doing an EVP session up here, and I kept getting the smell of like a lilac clone. It came to me once, and then it kind of went away, and then it came back, and they were kidding me. So, well, she must like it, because it seemed to be hanging around where I was at. And then we also got like a pipe tobacco smell up here in this area. And then through that window up there, or through that door, they shot toward the windows, and they got a face appearing in one of the windows. I swung around and shot a picture back against the person that was sitting there. I got this whole section, but we got the profile of a man looking at the lady that was sitting there in the chair. This is where the incident. But this, they were all sitting here. First one was here, the one that was holding her chest. The second one, their hair pull was here. And the third was right over here that she got stabbed, so to speak. But this area is where a lot of that activity happens. But you can also see there is a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you just touch it.
Yeah, some of it wouldn't take much to get it to fall. Mm-hmm. But what they always would say is they're hearing these things like they're pitched or they're tossed. Mm-hmm. And one sensitive said she thought the person's name was Nathan. So whether it's Nathan Potwin or a slave named Nathan, we don't know for sure.
So here we sit, Stone Academy in Zanesville. This is one of our hometown haunts, so we're going to go in. We just got all the tour information, all the paranormal claims from Gary, and see what we can turn up. This is a kitchen where an apparition was seen by a worker here at Stone Academy. I'm going to start my investigation. I'm going to just poke around a little bit solo here and see what happens. Start an AVP session here. If I can see it. It's recorder number 2. Josh, I'm by myself here in the kitchen, the hallway where the apparition was seen, Stone Academy in Zanesville, Ohio. Is there anybody in this room with me right now? My name is Josh. I live in Zanesville. I know that you people don't like slavery. I'm from Zanesville, a town that does. Wanted to start the night out doing something I usually don't do a lot of, and that's provoking. The abolitionists from Putnam, when it was separate from Zanesville, were out to banish slavery. However, the people from Zanesville lean more towards slavery. So if I come in telling them I'm from Zanesville and that I'm here in their home, I thought maybe that'd stir something up. I have a seat over here on this chair. There's a recorder right next to me here. Is there anybody in this room with me right now? If there is, can you tell me your name? Mr. McHenry? Are you here with me? Are you the man that the workers saw come from this hallway, go down to this end and turn and go up a set of steps that no longer exist? It's a beautiful home you have here. Maybe you could come out and say something to me or introduce yourself. This little device I got here, the red light, if you come to it, I'll be able to hear what you say when I play this back. I'm alone, it's just me. I'm not here to cause you any harm. I just want to talk with you. Are there any Robinses here? Potwins? Or McHenrys? Maybe you're all here together. Make a knocking sound to let me know you're here. I heard that. Can you do that again? I heard that. Can you do that again? That was you? I definitely just heard a knock. Just want to talk to you. You give me a sign of your presence again. Knock on something else. Not too much happened here in the dining room and the kitchen area where the apparition was seen, so maybe I'll try again later or send somebody else down. Maybe I'll have better luck.